Looking ahead to the week beginning June 17th, most important piece of data is probably the retail sales data. We had a few weak economic data points last week related to the consumer, jobless claims, CPI, Friday's Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index. So retail sales becomes the next direct consumer piece of economic data, and therefore it has an increased importance to what might happen with its release and the markets, especially given the way stocks performed last week with the NASDAQ and the S&P hitting new all-time highs. NASDAQ had the best weekly performance on a percentage basis since the week of October 30th. Same thing for the S&P since the week of October 22nd. The Dow and the Russell were both lower, so obviously tech boosted the other two indices. And also bonds kind of mixed. The 2-year yield up 1, the 5-year yield unchanged, 10-year yield down 2, and the 30-year yield down 4 on a weekly basis. 2 cents inversion goes from negative 44 to negative 47. So the wrong direction, but it's not that big of a move. Also, since we're talking about bonds and stocks, you need to know June 19th is Juneteenth. That's a national federal holiday here in the US, so bonds and stock markets will be closed. We also have a Bank of England rate decision next week. Generally expected to see no move in rates, but there are more than a few analysts predicting a rate cut. Remember last meeting we had 2 governors from the Bank of England vote for rate cuts. We also have a Reserve Bank of Australia rate decision coming next week as well. In terms of looking ahead at earnings and data, earnings are unofficially over, but we have 14 companies with over $1 billion in market cap reporting, including Accenture, KB Homes, Lennar, the 2 large home builders, Kroger, Darden Restaurants, and CarMax data. This weekend we have the G7 meeting. Slim chance markets could be affected by statements out of that meeting. Sunday, Chinese industrial production, retail sales, and their unemployment rate, as well as Japanese machine orders. Monday, consumer inflation expectations and wage growth in the EU, and then the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. Tuesday, we have the Australia rate decision, core inflation in the EU, and ZEW economic indexes in Germany and the EU, and then that retail sales data in the US. Wednesday, UK inflation figures and the National Association of Home Builders Housing Market Index in the US. Thursday, Bank of England rate decision, building permits and housing starts in the US, along with weekly jobless claims. Friday, we have new flash small to medium-sized business PMI figures for the UK, Germany, the EU, and the US.